Hello and welcome back to another F1 22 video, and today we are going to be going through the entire first season of the My Team career mode. So let's get straight into it and get our team name. Gullis Racing, sticking with a Ferrari engine in the car, and with the driver we've got the icons, so of course I'm going to be putting my idol Jenson Button in the car. With this new My Team career mode, you can choose where you start your season. You can become a newcomer, a midfield challenger, or a championship contender. Of course, as we're only doing one season, we're going to go for a championship contender and see if you can win the championship in the first year. This is how things are looking as we jump in. This is where you enter the game, and we're currently the third best team in Formula 1 behind Red Bull and behind Ferrari. Having a look now at the practice programs and seeing how they change in the new career mode as well. The track acclimatization is basically the same, but looks fairly similar, and the gates are a bit smaller. And this is the new ERS sort of usage test. You can see there with the little measurement in your center of your screens there that as you don't use ERS, the bar is going to go up, and then as you use ERS, it comes back down. But that was basically it for the practice programs. Into the first race of the season, then it is lights out and away we go. And it's a terrible start. I mean, I have bad starts on this F1 22 game, something I'm going to need to learn as we get into the game's actual cycle. But down to turn one, the McLaren of Lando Norris just barrel rolls into everybody else, takes them all out. We get a bit of damage on our front wing, moves us up into 8th position, but kind of compromises us a little bit with that front wing damage that we have. We go wheel to wheel with Pierre Gasly. He has a 3-second time penalty due to that incident at the start, so we're going to go right around the outside of turn 1, inside of turn 2. Good to know that my favourite line around Bahrain still works. And that was it for the race, coming across the line in P8. So a good start to the season. Jenson Button, I believe, is in P6 as well. So Gullis Racing gets off to a good start. But this is where things really start to progress through the season. Go to Saudi, Australia, Imola. Jenson Button starts to win races. We're looking like podium contenders as we are developing the car all the way throughout this. The development is very much the same as it was before. As you can see, aerodynamic, chassis, powertrain, durability, nothing really has changed there too much. We're now the best car in the game right now, and that meant that we get the race win at Monaco. Jenson Button and a 1-2 there at the Azerbaijan GP, and things are really looking good now for Gullis Racing as we are developing that car. But Ferrari, they're going to start to come back at us. They're going to start to develop their car as well throughout this season. As you can see, the Valtteri Bottas really getting in the mix there too, and Charles Leclerc winning the Austrian Grand Prix, and this is now where Ferrari start to come back. We then decide to re-sign Jenson Button, and after declining us multiple times, Jenson, we finally get our deal on the third time of asking. He just wanted a little bit of money, so there you go, you can have it. And going into France now, Charles Leclerc winning that race and showing that the Ferrari is starting to come back, and we as a driver are losing our points, but Jenson Button still doing a good job, and Max Verstappen getting in the fold there as well. We go into the season break, the midway point of the 22 season. Here's how things are standing in Constructors and Drivers Championship. Jenson Button leading the way, with Max Verstappen in second, Charles Leclerc first, third, and myself in fourth. We're currently the second best car right now in the championship, but it's very close between ourselves and Ferrari, and also really close between Red Bull, Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, Haas. It's good to see the development that the other teams are doing as well in this career mode. Before we get into the Belgian Grand Prix, 94% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button to never miss out on F1 22 content. 5 red lights though at Belgium. It's lights out and away we go. And another terrible start. Jenson Button overtakes us, so does Sergio Perez, so does George Russell, and then Alonso straight up the inside. Great maneuver there from the Alpine driver. We nearly made contact with Sergio Perez, but we have to settle for P9 in this race. We know we have a quick car. As you've seen, we are the joint best team in Formula 1. So we go right around the outside of George Russell through Rivage. Have a little look there on Sergio Perez, but can't quite pull off that maneuver as he's kind of stuck a little bit behind Fernando Alonso. So we're going to be looking to get past both these drivers as soon as we possibly can, using ERS to full effect as we blitz our way through Blanchimont, overtake Sergio Perez, and then maybe have a look on the inside of Fernando Alonso. No, instead go around the outside. There wasn't really enough room there. We kind of did it off the track, but who's really watching anyway? Just let it slide, guys, okay? It's just a quick career mode. P6, though, for the time being. Jenson Button is in P5. And we're going to be overtaking our teammate. Good stuff at the moment for the Gullis Racing boys to be P5 and P6, but we need to be doing better if we want to secure the championship in our first season. You know, do that Brawn GP style championship win. Now attacking Carlos Sainz here, going through Blanchimont on the inside this time around, so shouldn't have to cut any corners or run too far wide as we overtake Carlos Sainz through the left-hander and get the job done. And now we're going to be on the back of Lewis Hamilton. And rinse and repeat up the inside in towards Blanchimont. He kind of shows us the door, but we get it done anyway. Extend it wide a little bit and get another warning for exceeding track limits, but all is okay. We have a little look on Charles Leclerc on the final lap. Actually forced him to lock up as we went for a big dive up the inside there, but couldn't quite do it. Nearly lost the back end, nearly lost the podium, but it is going to be a podium for us today. P3, fastest lap as well, so we will take the extra points, and things are still looking good for us in our championship, beating Jenson Button here at the Dutch GP, but Charles Leclerc is doing a fantastic job. We beat Ferrari at their home race, which is really going to sting them, but now the resurgence of Lewis Hamilton begins as he wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso decides that is it for his Formula 1 career once again, so he retires for about the 5th time as we head over to this regulation change coming into Season 2. So the whole of the aerodynamics department needs to be adapted. We've seen this across previous F1 career modes in F1 games. This is nothing new. You just adapt the parts, get them ready for the next season, and if you don't, then you're going to lose performance in that department. So heading over to the USGP, we beat Jenson Button. Lewis Hamilton wins that race again, and into Mexico. Bad race there for the Gullis Racing team because we're having to adapt these parts. We're not able to develop our actual car ahead of the season. Sebastian Vettel also saying enough is enough, and he retires at the end of Season 1 as well. So sorry to Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel fans, but it's looking like your drivers won't be in the career modes for too much longer. And heading into the final race of the season, this is how the development chart looks. Ferrari leading the way over ourselves, but Mercedes aren't too far behind, and neither are Alpine either. Red Bull also getting themselves in there too, with McLaren neck and neck with Haas, Alfa Romeo just a little bit behind them, and then Aston Martin, and then Williams and AlphaTauri, even Stevens right at the back of the field. So heading into now the last race of the 2022 season for Gullis Racing, we line up in 2nd place alongside Charles Leclerc, who won the Drivers' Championship last time out at the Brazilian Grand Prix. So can't fight for the Drivers' Championship anymore, but we are still looking very strong for the Constructors. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen getting the better of myself on the start. We are not really too surprised now, are we? But we mount a charge on Max Verstappen, send it up the inside of this long, sweeping hairpin to move ourselves up into P3 for the time being, but use all our battery doing that. And that allows Max Verstappen to come straight back at us. And even my teammate, Jenson Button, has a little look, which was slightly annoying because I wanted to maybe use the DRS to overtake Max Verstappen on the next straight. Jenson Button kind of getting in the way there, compromises us on the exit. And unfortunately, as we will get close to Max Verstappen, but I just don't think it's going to be enough as Jenson Button once again having a look around the outside. And Max Verstappen holds position, and it's going to be a P4 for us in the final race of the season. Coming across the line, Lewis Hamilton wins the race again. And who knows, if Mercedes maybe got to grips with the car earlier on, they could have challenged for the title. Charles Leclerc is our champion, and we win the Constructors' Championship in our first season. This is how things look, though. So we looked really good in the early mid-stage of the season, then Ferrari got on top of it, and then Lewis Hamilton just dominating the end with about 5 wins and a 2nd place. We then decided enough was enough with Jenson Button to sign Valtteri Bottas, who had the best of the rest season, and we also decided let's get a new livery on the car for Season 2. So going into Season 2, we are currently the favourites, leading the way. Mercedes, the team that have dropped off massively in this career mode. Haas also kind of staying the same, McLaren dropping off, Aston Martin dropping off, but the big gainers were ourselves, Red Bull, Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri. So really interesting interesting to see there that Alpine now becoming the fourth best team in Formula 1. Mercedes dropping down to the 5th, and but it's really close between the teams as well, so that could be really exciting to see in Season 2. Driver transfer number 1, Alexander Albon going to Alpine, replacing the retiring Fernando Alonso. Mick Schumacher replaces his role model figure of Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll goes back to Williams as the back marker of the team, with Kevin Magnussen also moving up to the Aston Martin team. Zhou Guanyu switches over to Haas, and replacing him at Alfa Romeo is Oscar Piastri and also Robert Schwartzman, who replaces Valtteri Bottas, who we stole from them as well. And the weirdest transfer of them all, Marina Sato going to Haas, which I don't think anyone expected. But that is going to do for our simulation of the first season of the My Team Career Mode. Are you guys looking forward to Career Mode in F1 22? Let me know in the comments section below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more F1 content. But until next time, it's goodbye from me.